Fart face! The hospital will cover all of your bills.
Discovering who Robin Williams truly was beyond the comedic genius on stage and the whirlwind of energy on screen reveals a deeply complex man off stage. Life's journey unravels the dichotomy of a man who brought laughter to millions while wrestling with his inner battles. What lay hidden behind his captivating smile and rapid-fire wit was a profound sadness. So let's dive into the life of Robin Williams, someone far more complicated than his public image, exploring his life and how he tragically left this world. How it all began. On a sunny July 21st in 1951, in the heart of Chicago, Illinois, the world welcomed a bright soul named Williams. His father, Robert Fitzgerald Williams, held a prestigious role as a senior executive in Ford's Lincoln Mercury division, while his mother, Lori McLaurin, hailed from Jackson, Mississippi, tracing her lineage to the esteemed Mississippi Senator and Governor Anselm McLaurin. Williams found himself in a family dynamic that included two older half-brothers, Robert, also known as Todd, from his father's side, and McLaurin from his mother's. Though his mother followed Christian Science, Williams was brought up in his father's Episcopal faith. Remarkably, he credited his early humor to his mother, often striving to tickle her funny bone for attention, as he revealed in a lively television interview in 2001. His journey through education was as diverse as his background. Starting at Gorton Elementary School in Lake Forest, and then on to Deer Path Junior High School, Williams, initially a reserved child, found his voice when he delved into the vibrant drama department during his high school days. Those who knew him then recall a remarkably funny and engaging young man. At the age of 12, a pivotal moment arose when his family relocated to suburban Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Here, within the confines of a sprawling 40-room farmhouse set on 20 acres, Williams thrived at the Detroit Country Day School. He emerged as a shining star, excelling academically, leading the school's wrestling team, and even clinching the title of class president. Life's winds of change blew yet again when at 16, Williams's father opted for an early retirement, prompting a move to Tiburon, California. There, Williams found himself attending Redwood High School in Larkspur. Interestingly, despite his future legendary status, his classmates during his 1969 graduation deemed him most likely not to succeed alongside funniest, showcasing the early irony in his journey. Post-graduation, he initially charted a course for Claremont Men's College, aiming to delve into political science but soon veered off to pursue acting, a passion that tugged at his heartstrings. His path to stardom took a detour through the College of Marine in Kentfield, California, where he immersed himself in theater for 3 formative years. It was here, under the mentorship of the college's drama professor, James Dunn, that the world witnessed the budding genius of Williams. His portrayal of Fagin in the musical Oliver showcased not just his talent, but also his improvisational wizardry, often leaving the cast in stitches. Dunn, recognizing the exceptional potential within Williams, once excitedly rang his wife after witnessing a late rehearsal, predicting that this young man was destined for greatness. In the bustling hub of New York City in 1973, Williams scored big with a full scholarship to the Juilliard School, joining the ranks of just 20 students making the freshman cut. Among this elite group, he and Christopher Reeve stood out, clinching spots in John Houseman's exclusive advanced program for that year. The class was a star-studded affair, featuring luminaries like William Hurt and Mandy Patinkin. If you peeked into the dorms, you'd find Williams bunking with Franklin Seals, his roommate extraordinaire, as chronicled by biographer Jean Dorsenville. Reeve fondly reminisced about encountering Williams during their Juilliard days, recalling a whirlwind of energy clad in tie-dye shirts and tracksuit bottoms, a lively persona bouncing off the walls with a mile-a-minute chatter. Edith Skinner, their dialects instructor, marveled at Williams's uncanny knack for effortlessly slipping into various accents, leaving her pleasantly bewildered. Their main acting mentor, Michael Kahn, found himself equally flabbergasted by the sheer force of nature that was Williams. Initially hailed for his humor, Williams faced criticism from Kahn, who dismissed his antics as mere stand-up comedy. However, a pivotal moment arrived when Williams took the stage in Tennessee Williams's Night of the Iguana, stunning critics with a mesmerizing portrayal of an old man. Reeve, deeply moved by Williams's transformation, hailed his performance as nothing short of extraordinary, cementing their enduring friendship. Beyond the spotlight of Juilliard, Williams spent his summers from 1974 to 76 as a humble busboy at the Trident in Sausalito, California, a testament to his work ethic and humble beginnings. Despite the glitz of Juilliard, Williams departed during his junior year, urged on by housemen who believed the school had no more to offer this talented man. Even Gerald Friedman, one of his esteemed teachers, recognized Williams' genius, but acknowledged that Juilliard's traditional training wasn't quite the right fit for his uncontainable spirit. It was no surprise to anyone that Williams charted his own course, leaving the institution poised for his unique journey ahead, becoming a stand-up comedian. In the Bay Area scene of 1976, Williams kicked off his stand-up journey at the Holy City Zoo, a cozy San Francisco comedy club where he didn't just take the stage. He started from the bottom, tending bar and slowly working his way up. It was an era pulsating with a rock revolution, hippie culture, and a seismic shift in societal norms, which acted as a backdrop against which Williams, along with others, spearheaded what critics called San Francisco's comedy renaissance. He confessed to unearthing the allure of drugs and happiness during this time, witnessing the brightest minds succumb to a haze. His magnetic energy led him to Los Angeles, where the spotlight beckoned. The Comedy Store witnessed his comedic prowess, catching the eye of TV producer George Schlatter, who thrust him onto the revival of Laugh-In in 1977, marking his television debut. As the show met an untimely end, it became Williams's springboard into the TV realm, while he kept his improvisational edge razor-sharp by performing at clubs like the Roxy. Even across the pond in England, he left his mark at the Fighting Cocks. HBO specials like Off the Wall, An Evening with Robin Williams, and A Night at the Met solidified his place, clinching a Grammy for Best Comedy Album. Behind the laughter, Williams battled the darker side of fame. Stand-up's pressure cooker environment led him to early encounters with drugs and alcohol, though he maintained a sober stage presence, occasionally performing through hangovers. He confessed that cocaine fueled paranoia during performances, a stark contrast to his electric on-stage persona. In his words, the life of a stand-up comic was a roller coaster, a brutal field where many flamed out due to the relentless cycle of highs and lows. Williams understood this firsthand, navigating the uneven path while striving to stay true to his craft. Critics, concerned about the intensity of his performances, feared a creative meltdown, while his biographer characterized his manic style as beyond energetic, sometimes bordering on dangerous. Williams attributed his rapid-fire delivery to his early days in bars, where patrons' short attention spans necessitated a synaptic performance style, always moving, never a sitting target. He found solace in the ever-evolving world around him, confident that ideas would never run dry. Yet, the competitive realm of comedy wasn't devoid of controversies. Accusations of joke-stealing dogged him, which he vehemently denied. His peers' confrontations and claims of joke plagiarism created friction, leading Williams to avoid fellow comedians' shows to ward off further accusations. Despite the chaos, Williams regarded his work as a lifeline, a vital thread woven throughout his career. His one-man Broadway show and subsequent DVD, Robin Williams, Live on Broadway, solidified his stand-up legacy. In 2004, Comedy Central ranked him 13th in its 100 Greatest Stand-Ups of All Time list, marking a testament to his enduring impact. Yet, Williams grappled with the fear of losing his creative edge, attributing novelist Jerzy Kosinski's suicide to that very fear. He credited his father for instilling the courage to address crucial topics, emphasizing the importance of staying true to oneself. Even after a hiatus, Williams bounced back with a 26-city tour, Weapons of Self-Destruction, proving that his comedic flame continued to burn brightly, concluding in a celebrated HBO special in December 2009, how Mork and Mindy changed things. Post the Laugh-In resurgence and a stint on The Richard Pryor Show, Williams landed the gig of a lifetime when Gary Marshall tapped him to play the zany alien Mork in a 1978 episode of Happy Days titled My Favorite Orkin. His unconventional audition, where he sat on his head at the producer's request to take a seat, caught their attention. As Mork, Williams unleashed a series of improvisations, sporting a high, nasal voice and infusing the script with his trademark wit. His performance wowed not just the cast and crew, but also network heads, prompting a lightning-fast contract offer a mere 4 days later, shutting out potential competitors. Mork's magnetic appeal didn't just resonate with viewers, it sparked the birth of a spin-off sitcom, Mork and Mindy, co-starring Pam Dauber. This groundbreaking show, structured to accommodate Williams' unrestrained improvisations, catapulted him into the stratosphere of stardom. Set in present-day Boulder, Colorado, it diverged from its Happy Days roots, amassing a staggering 60 million viewers weekly at its peak and solidifying Williams as a bona fide superstar. Among the younger audience, he became an emblem of infectious exuberance, blending man-child charisma with an endless stream of imaginative antics. But Mork's meteoric rise wasn't confined to the small screen alone. His persona spilled over into everyday life, adorning posters, coloring books, and lunchboxes. The show's explosive success landed Williams on the cover of Time magazine's March 12, 1979 issue, an iconic photo captured by Michael Dressler that portrayed both his comedic charm and a contemplative side. This cherished image found its place in the National Portrait Gallery at the Smithsonian after his passing, offering a tribute to his legacy. But his TV appearances extended beyond comedy, popping up unscripted alongside Billy Crystal on Friends, and showcasing his improvisational flair on Whose Line Is It Anyway? He delved into dramatic roles, featuring in Law & Order Special Victims Unit, and surprising audiences on Extreme Makeover Home Edition. From cameos on Saturday Night Live to guest spots on FX series like Louie and Wilfred, Williams left a massive mark. His 2013 venture, The Crazy Ones, lasted just one season on CBS, marking both a triumph and a swift departure in his storied TV career. His several marriages and children. When it comes to Williams's relationships and family, he had it pretty rough. He began his first marriage with Valerie Velarde in June 1978, after a previous relationship with comedian Elaine Boozler. Their paths converged at a San Francisco tavern where Williams tended a bar. Their son, Zachary Pym Williams, came into the world in 1983. However, the union eventually dissolved, leading to their divorce in 1988. Rumors swirled about Williams's involvement with Zachary's nanny, Marcia Garces, starting in 1986. Yet, Velarde clarified in the 2018 documentary Robin Williams, Come Inside My Mind, that Williams' connection with Garces began post-separation. In April 1989, Williams tied the knot with Garces, expecting their first child. Together, they welcomed two more additions to their family, Zelda Ray Williams in that same year, and Cody Allen Williams in 1991. However, their journey together hit rocky shores, culminating in Garces filing for divorce in March 2008, citing irreconcilable differences. Their divorce proceedings concluded in 2010. Williams then began his third marriage with graphic designer Susan Schneider on October 22, 2011, in St. Helena, California. The couple lived in San Francisco's Seacliff area, finding solace and joy in the growth of their family. Williams found profound wonder in witnessing the development of his children, declaring that his children gave him a great sense of wonder. Beyond his relationships, Williams immersed himself in several different interests. He joined the West Side YMCA Runners Club in New York City, showcasing his athletic prowess with impressive results in a Central Park 10K run in 1975. A bookworm at heart, his beloved reads included Isaac Asimov's Foundation trilogy and childhood favorite, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which he joyfully shared with his children. His eclectic passions ranged from pen and paper role-playing games to video games, the latter reflected in his daughter Zelda's namesake from The Legend of Zelda series. An ardent anime fan and collector of figures, Williams amassed a massive collection, including a figurine of Dunan Knut from the anime film Appleseed. He cherished films like Innocence Ghost in the Shell and received a signed DVD of Paranoia Agent from its director, Satoshi Kon. Williams found solace in cycling, embracing it as a healthy substitute for past vices. His enthusiasm for the sport burgeoned, culminating in a vast bicycle collection and avid support for professional road cycling, frequently attending events such as the Tour de France. In a heartfelt gesture, his children donated 87 bicycles from his collection in 2016 to support charitable foundations. Religion and philanthropy. Williams had a spiritual upbringing, often aligning himself with the Episcopal denomination. In his humor, he coined his affiliation as Chicago Protestant Episcopal Catholic Light, half the religion, half the guilt. an emblem of generosity. Williams, along with Whoopi Goldberg and Billy Crystal, established Comic Relief USA in 1986, an annual HBO television benefit dedicated to aiding the homeless. This heartfelt initiative garnered $80 million by 2014. His deep-rooted empathy for those less fortunate stemmed from a desire to make a meaningful impact, especially for the underprivileged. Whether championing causes for literacy, women's rights, or veterans' welfare, he lent his star power to numerous benefit appearances, including a dedicated commitment to the USO, where he entertained approximately 90,000 troops across 13 countries. Partnering with his second wife, Marcia, Williams co-founded the Windfall Foundation, a philanthropic entity aimed at raising funds for various charitable causes. His altruism extended globally, as evidenced when he sang in French for a music video cover of the Rolling Stones' "It's Only Rock and Roll But I Like It," in support of the charity Children's Promise. His compassionate response to the 2010 Canterbury earthquake in New Zealand was impactful. He generously donated the proceeds from his Christchurch performance of Weapons of Self-Destruction to aid in rebuilding the city, directing half the funds to the Red Cross and the other half to the Mayoral Building Fund. His dedication to supporting the troops was unwavering, performing with the USO in Iraq and Afghanistan. Williams also extended his support to institutions like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for several years. But despite being so giving and caring about the world, things went downhill pretty badly. Williams faces hopelessness. Robin found himself pondering a recurring question after he turned 60, reflecting on over 3 decades as an entertainer and more than 6 as a person. He wondered about the meaning behind continuing his craft, as he had already savored the sweetest triumphs and received most of the prestigious awards in his field. Each phase of his career had been an unpredictable journey, an improvisational act in itself, but where he stood now had no clear roadmap. The idea of eventual closure lingered, a reality he often grappled with in his performances, attempting to outrun it. How would his final bow look, bidding the audience farewell for the last time? Would it be anything but heartbreaking? Work opportunities were dwindling, not as financially rewarding, and seemed fixated on themes of finality, particularly death. An episode of Louie, featuring both Robin and comedian Louis C.K., had them discussing death at the gravesite of a despised comedy club manager, sparking introspection about solitude in the afterlife. This motif persisted in his roles, notably in The Angriest Man in Brooklyn, where his character faces mortality, a narrative that echoed his own concerns. Despite the somber tones, the humorist's spirit endured, often shadowed by an undertone of the unspoken fear of mortality. The motivations behind these projects remained elusive. Far from the Hollywood spotlight he once thrived, these films barely found theatrical releases. Yet, Robin persisted, filling every slot in his schedule with work, partly driven by financial needs. His life, in a positive sense, had downsized, necessitating the sale of properties and financial reorganization due to expensive divorces. The prospect of a professional resurgence emerged with The Crazy Ones, marking his return to regular TV after Mork and Mindy. But despite the promising salary and steady gig, the reception was lukewarm, the humor falling flat. Critics observed a different Robin, one no longer the dynamic force people had come to adore. During the filming of The Crazy Ones, Robin lived a much simpler life, a stark contrast to his earlier Hollywood glitz, or even his Tiburon abode. His wife, Susan, brought a different domestic feeling, not keen on managing his life as his previous spouse did. Robin's son, Zach, maintained a connection, working with longtime assistants, but as things changed, that support seemed to wane, leaving Robin in a potentially lonely phase. Looking back, Zach regretted not spending more time with his father during this period, sensing the need for support that wasn't sufficiently provided. His health deteriorated. The tragic life and death of Robin Williams started to show itself from October 2013 onwards, as Robin met a series of physical troubles and a medley of discomforts that manifested in varying intensities, appearing disjointed and unrelated. His issues spanned from stomach cramps, indigestion, and constipation to visual impairments, urinary problems, and sleep disturbances. The return of tremors in his left arm, paired with cogwheel rigidity, added to the perplexing mix. His voice faded, his posture stooped, and moments of sudden immobility became more frequent. Susan, familiar with Robin's occasional nervousness, noticed a staggering spike in his anxiety levels. She described it as a vast number of symptoms, each surfacing at its whim. Even after exploring various avenues, there were no definitive answers. Billy Crystal, a close friend, acknowledged that Robin hinted at his unease, though only to a certain extent. Crystal recalled Robin saying he felt a little crispy, but didn't delve into specifics. The concerns were evident during a movie outing with the Crystals. Robin's physical changes struck them, his appearance thinner and frail. Their dinner after the movie revealed a quieter Robin, occasionally reaching out in a longing manner. Before wrapping up The Crazy Ones in February 2014, attempts to revive the show included stunt casting, so Pam Dauber joined Robin on screen after Mork and Mindy. Though Dauber felt the show wasn't Robin's fit, she accepted the role for the chance to see him. She sensed something amiss, noticing a subdued and changed demeanor in Robin, refraining from prying out of respect for their distant acquaintance. Despite the increased hype around Dauber's appearance, it didn't improve the show's plummeting ratings. Robin seemed at peace with the network's decision to cancel it, acknowledging the financial setback but finding solace in the creative aspect. By this point in time, Robin had already moved on to filming Night at the Museum: Secret of the Tomb, despite pleas from loved ones to slow down due to his worsening health. His unyielding desire to work through the pain, a familiar remedy to him, overshadowed external concerns. Sherry Minns, his makeup artist, reflected on Robin's deep attachment to work, likening it to his lifeline. Even in Vancouver, where he filmed, his weight loss and motor impairments were evident, often leaving him emotionally drained at day's end. Despite the visible distress, the gravity of his situation remained elusive to many around him. As the timeline shifted, Robin found solace within the confines of his hotel room, his outdoor ventures becoming a rarity. In April, an episode of panic struck him. Minns, hoping to uplift his spirits, suggested a stand-up comedy gig at a local Vancouver club. Her well-intentioned idea, however, backfired drastically. When she proposed the notion, Robin's reaction was unexpected. He broke down in tears, admitting that he can't do it because he doesn't know how to be funny anymore. But Susan, based in California during Robin's movie project, maintained constant contact, helping him navigate escalating insecurities. Under medical guidance, he started various antipsychotic medications, each offering relief for some symptoms while exacerbating others. Returning home in early May, Robin's condition left Susan feeling like she was welcoming back an airplane without landing gear. His diagnosis day in May 2014 unveiled the enigma behind his string of illnesses: Parkinson's disease. To Robin, it was the dreaded realization of a lifelong fear, knowing it would gradually strip him of his abilities. While Susan clung to the sliver of hope this diagnosis provided, sensing a pathway for treatment, Robin remained unconvinced. He confided in his inner circle about Parkinson's, including his children, handlers, and closest friends. Crystal recalled the moment Robin disclosed the news, a high-pitched voice over the phone expressing the diagnosis. It was a fearful Robin, unlike the bold, brave comedian everyone knew. Amid this, Robin fought with deepening agony and paranoia, leading to sleepless nights fraught with anxiety. His concern for others also emerged. A harrowing incident revolved around his fear for a friend's safety, escalating into an obsessive need to check on them. The physical and mental anguish took its toll. Friends felt powerless, uncertain of how to help him. His children tried to find moments to spend time with him, but navigating through layers of people who were trying to get his attention posed a challenge. Despite multiple attempts at coping, including therapy, physical activity, and alternative treatments, his condition spiraled, and his isolation intensified. Attempts to engage him proved daunting, as his guilt over past decisions made his anguish worse. Even outings to comedy shows revealed a different Robin because he was detached and distant the entire time. The once reactive, witty responses turned into distant gazes and absent reactions, signaling the depths of his sadness. Visits to his children's homes became brief, laden with discomfort as Robin grappled with feeling unworthy of their care and love. His internal turmoil echoed in his demeanor, a stark contrast to the joy they sought to share. July 24 marked a disturbing incident. He suffered from a self-inflicted head wound, as a manifestation of his frustration and self-directed anger. Throughout August, glimpses of fleeting relief emerged in the form of a visit to his son and daughter-in-law's home, hinting at a moment of respite. Yet his unease lingered, his demeanor mirroring the agony he concealed. The 10th of August, the final night Robin lived, saw him fixating on paranoia about stolen possessions, culminating in a gesture of safeguarding his watches with friends. His actions that night, seemingly habitual, held an undercurrent of turmoil. His final night, a haunting precursor to the inevitable end, bore the weight of a soul consumed by an unfathomable struggle. The next morning, on Monday, August 11, Susan noticed Robin's bedroom door remained shut, assuming he was catching up on much-needed sleep. As Rebecca and Dan joined her at the house, Rebecca inquired about Robin's weekend. Susan, while hopeful, expressed that she believed he was improving. Initially planning to meditate with Robin upon his awakening, Susan left around 10:30 in the morning for some errands when he hadn't surfaced yet. Concern mounted by 11 a.m. as Robin remained secluded. Rebecca slid a note under his door, receiving no response. Contacting Susan at 11:42 a.m., Rebecca intended to rouse Robin, while Dan sought a way to peer through the bedroom window from outside. In a bold move, Rebecca used a paperclip to unlock the bedroom door. That's when she realized that this entire time, Williams wasn't sleeping in his bed like everyone thought he was. He had taken his own life, hanging himself in his room while nobody had any idea. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The tragic life and death of Robin Williams came as a shock to everyone who had spent their lives watching him do his comedic antics. His battles had remained hidden from the world the entire time he was facing physical and mental illnesses, and so, after his death was announced, the rumor mill began to churn. Some people assumed that he had died on his bed, claiming that there was blood all over the place, but another picture emerged that seemed a bit too real to ignore. An indent on the back of Williams's neck, which seemed to have originated from the belt he had been hanging from. While nobody confirmed this image to be true, how can you deny it? Do you think this image is real? The answer awaits. Remember to comment down below with the hashtag subscriberpick and let us know what you think. Now on to the next topic. His death. Williams died on August 11, 2014, at his residence in Paradise Cay, California. The official autopsy report, revealed in November of the same year, confirmed that his death was by suicide caused by asphyxia due to hanging. It was determined that no alcohol or illicit drugs were involved, and the prescription medications found in his system were within therapeutic ranges. The report also highlighted Williams's history of depression and anxiety. Further analysis of his brain tissue indicated the presence of diffuse Lewy body dementia, a condition that profoundly affected him. Susan, his widow, described this illness as the terrorist inside her husband's brain. She emphasized the challenge of discussing brain diseases within societal frameworks, noting the insufficiency of language to address these neurological conditions, particularly highlighting how depression was a symptom of Lewy body dementia, rooted in neurology rather than psychology. Medical experts sought to understand the cause, ultimately diagnosing Williams with Parkinson's disease. The Lewy Body Dementia Association clarified the distinction between diffuse Lewy body dementia, commonly known as diffuse Lewy body disease, and the overarching term Lewy body dementia, which includes Parkinson's disease dementia and dementia with Lewy bodies. Following his passing, Williams was cremated at Monte's Chapel of the Hills in San Anselmo, with his ashes scattered over San Francisco Bay on August 21, 2014. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.